Wow, congratulations! You made it to section 2. Woohoo! Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. Napoleon Hill said that. So, with your patience and persistence on our journey together, you are preparing yourself for huge success. In this section, I'll help you figure out what you really want in life and your relationships. Why is this so important? Because as Jim Rohn once said, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. In this lecture, I will talk about how your past affects your present, which in turn affects your future. Too complicated? Actually, not at all. I'll show you here how a simple concept like this can help us predict your future and even change it. So, for just a minute, think about your first relationship. You thought he was the one. You fell in love right away. He did too, at least he said so. And this was love from first sight and everlasting. So you hoped. Chemistry took over, you dropped your guards completely and gave into sex. Oops. After that, he treated you as he owned you. You felt resentment, conflict occurred, and boom! The everlasting love story turned into chaos and regrets. Not only relational regrets. Often, toxic relationships mess up our minds so much. We stop doing things we love, we submit to the other person, and weird things start happening in our careers, finances, health, and opportunities overall. One executive woman shared with me how she was confused about her relationship once chemistry kicked in. She makes $300,000 annually, is smart, beautiful, but fell for a guy who didn't have a job, used drugs, and abused her severely. She got sexually attached to him and couldn't imagine herself single. The result, she ended up in huge debt, having drug problems, stuck in this violent relationship, and things started getting worse. Another woman I know has multiple degrees, is very pretty. She too is extremely smart, but made a bad decision with her marriage. Before, she was a professional who was highly respected in her industry. She spoke at conferences and had a meaningful life. But now, when she married this guy, under his negative influence, she lost herself. She cooks, cleans, and serves him as a sex slave. He doesn't give her any freedom, monitors whom she talks to. He doesn't allow her to work. She can't even go to the gym without his constant supervision. You see how your health, finances, your life, your mind, your sanity can suffer when you make a bad relationship choice. I've been there too. I had lost my money, I had gained weight, I became sick. I was questioning myself because of my poor relationship choices. I know what it's like, not from a book I read, but from my personal experience. So, back to you and your toxic relationship experiences. You may think, well, he just wasn't the right man. You feel awful, frustrated, insecure. You decide to look for happiness elsewhere. What's next? You need a new man, of course. Girlfriends persuade you that while you don't have the Prince Charming yet, at least settle for hookup body for now. And you go online. Every day demands that you follow the third date rule. You feel obligated to have sex on a third date to preserve your relationship, only to be fooled again. The story repeats itself and your broken heart screams, I want love, fulfillment, happiness, security, and respect. Sounds familiar? Maybe not exactly your story, but close to it, right? Your mind is exhausted from trying to figure out where to find that Prince Charming, and your soul is simply numb because in the meantime you lost your peace, your self-worth, your confidence, your identity, your faith, your hopes, and your enthusiasm about the future. You're still alive on the outside, but almost dead on the inside. Sounds like you? I've been there so many times, almost too many times. Experience is a brutal teacher. After my second marriage failed, I jumped right into online dating. Also persuaded that I sure would benefit from having a hookup buddy. I actually got one. That caused so much confusion, disappointment, frustration, pain, and self-doubt. I had totally lost my confidence and my creative ability to write, which is the source of my income. So here you go again. You can see how relationships affect all areas of your life. What happened? Why did I do this to myself? It's simple. After my unsuccessful marriage, I did not review my yesterday, did not evaluate it, did not assess the lessons learned. So my yesterday became my today and was leading me into my tomorrow. What I was running from was chasing me, and I couldn't understand why I was unable to get away from it. From what? From unexpected pain, unforeseen chaos, unintended confusion, and unavoidable regrets. I was tired. That was when I decided to no longer accept being stuck in misery and frustration. I finally had realized that the common denominator in all my afflicted relationships was me. The potential for great relationships was always in me, and I needed to uncover it. I took a year of dating and dedicated my time to studying every aspect of great relationships, as well as working on exploring my relational habits, thinking patterns, and renewing my mind. I examined my yesterday, realized how it always affected my today, since the common denominator, me, always remained the same. And I decided to create a different tomorrow for myself by changing my beliefs, my views, and my relational habits. The knowledge I've gained and the skills I've developed on my journey enabled me to create a positive transformation in my life, which inspired me to genuinely share my findings with you and help you figure out what you can do to have fulfilling relationships in your life. And you know what else happened on my 1 year no dating journey? I met a guy, handsome, smart, with a good job, who had previously experienced the same relational pain. He shared with me how he took the time of dating to work on himself. He told me how he dealt with the daily temptations that come along with complete singleness. And guess what? Today, he's very happy being in a fulfilling relationship with an amazing woman. After that guy, I met another man who surprised me with a similar story, only he was divorced. He shared how he was completely single for 18 months and how it worked a magic in his life, teaching him about him, what made him happy, who he really was. Once he figured that out and learned to enjoy his own company, he met a wonderful woman, and now they are in a great relationship, loving life together. I met a young woman, European, beautiful, smart, educated, hot, as many would say. She went through a relational hell many times and finally realized she had to make some changes in herself. She took some time off dating, filled her life with the things she loved, became complete and happy while single, and that's when she met another whole, complete and happy single human, the man she is happily married to now. If you need someone to make you happy, to complete you, to bring wholeness into your life, you are likely to find yourself over and over again in toxic relationships. Let's go back to your first assignment from Lecture 3 now. Are you happy with where you are relationally? Probably not, otherwise you wouldn't enroll in this course. So, when you look into the future, do you envision yourself being happy and having fulfilling relationships? Guess what then? You need a paradigm shift, don't you? By the way, I am eager to know a little bit more about you. What does a great relationship feel like to you? And how will things change once you learn to recognize bad relationships on the spot? Please leave a comment for me in the discussion board to the right. Simply click on the third tab to post your comment. Okay, to prepare for that paradigm shift, download and complete your next assignment in Lecture 6. Use it as a template when reviewing your past and your present, as well as making predictions about the pattern that leads you into the future. This document will be used later for you to ensure that the progress you will have made in this course is easy to explain and measure. Complete your assignment in Lecture 6 and I'll see you again in Lecture 7.